70 plus and losing muscle. Do this to stay strong at home. Have you ever noticed that getting up from a chair feels a little harder than it used to? Or maybe you found yourself reaching for the wall when climbing the stairs just to feel a little steadier? You're not alone. And if you've quietly wondered, am I just getting weak? The honest answer is yes, a little. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to stay that way. See, after age 70, our bodies naturally begin to lose muscle mass. It's something called sarcopenia, and while the name sounds like something out of a science textbook, it just means age-related muscle loss. It starts earlier than most of us realize, often around our 50s, and becomes more noticeable in our 60s and beyond. Suddenly, carrying groceries feels heavier, lifting yourself off the couch takes more effort, and simple tasks become tiring. But here's the thing, just because muscle loss is common doesn't mean it's inevitable. And just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel weaker. Not at all. In fact, with a few simple changes, you can reverse some of that loss and feel stronger, more confident, and more energetic, right from the comfort of your home. So today, we're going to talk about exactly what you can do to stay strong and independent after 70. No gym memberships, no fancy equipment, just smart, realistic actions that fit into your everyday life. Because strength isn't just about lifting weights, it's about lifting your life. Let's start with something incredibly simple but powerful, moving with intention. Now, what I mean by that? Well, think about how many movements you make in a day that you probably don't even think about. Getting out of bed, standing up from the toilet, reaching into the cupboard, even turning the doorknob. These aren't exercises, but they are opportunities to build strength every single day. So the first thing to do is this: start treating your everyday movements as mini workouts. Instead of pushing yourself off the armrest when you get up, try standing using only your legs. Do it slowly. Feel the muscles in your thighs and hips engage. That small change, doing a few controlled sit-to-stands from a chair each day, can strengthen the very muscles that help prevent falls and support your balance. And speaking of balance, don't underestimate it. Muscle loss isn't just about not being able to carry a heavy bag. It affects your posture, your coordination, and your ability to stay on your feet. So the second thing you can do, starting today, is to add a few balance moves into your daily routine. You don't need a yoga mat or any fancy setup. Just stand at your kitchen counter, hold on lightly, and try standing on one foot for 10 seconds. Then switch sides. That's it. This simple exercise challenges your core, your hips, your ankles, basically all the tiny muscles that help keep you upright. It may not feel like much, but believe me, doing this every day adds up. Over time, it builds confidence. You'll feel less afraid of falling and more capable of handling uneven ground, stairs, or even a crowded grocery store. And while we're talking about simple movements, let's talk about resistance, one of the best ways to build strength after 70. But don't worry, I'm not talking about lifting heavy weights or joining a gym. You can use resistance bands, soup cans, or even just your own body weight. One of the easiest places to start: wall push-ups. Just stand facing a wall, place your palms flat against it, and slowly bend your elbows to bring your body closer, then push back. Do 5 of these a day, then work your way up to 10. This targets your chest, shoulders, and arms, areas that tend to lose muscle quickly as we age. And the best part, it takes less than a minute, and you don't even have to get down on the floor. These small exercises are like deposits into your strength bank. Each day, each repetition, each little bit of movement, it all adds up. The trick is consistency. Doing a little bit every day is far more powerful than overdoing it once in a while. Think of it as brushing your teeth. You don't brush for an hour once a week. You brush every day because it keeps things running smoothly. Your muscles work the same way. Now I know what you might be thinking, but I've never exercised in my life, or it's too late for me. But let me stop you right there. It is never too late to start. In fact, studies have shown that even people in their 80s and 90s can build muscle and improve strength with the right activities. Your body still responds. It's just waiting for you to give it the signal. And the signal doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't need to be flashy. You don't need to wear gym clothes or sweat buckets. It can be as gentle as a few minutes of movement in the morning, holding onto the back of a chair, doing slow knee lifts, or pressing your hands together in front of your chest to activate those upper body muscles. Muscle strength isn't just about appearance or how much weight you can lift. It's about independence. It's about reaching for the top shelf without wincing. It's about getting out of the car without needing help. It's about walking across the room with your head held high, not because someone's watching, but because you feel strong. That's why this matters. Not just for your body, but for your spirit. There's a deep sense of joy that comes from realizing, hey, I can do this. I am stronger than I thought. And every step you take toward that feeling, no matter how small, is a step toward a better quality of life. So if you've been feeling a little slower lately, or a little less steady, please don't ignore it. Your body's not breaking down. It's just asking for attention. And you can answer that call right where you are, no matter your age. Let's keep going. There's more you can do, and I want to show you just how simple and empowering it can be to build strength right at home. Now that we've started waking those muscles up with small, intentional movements, let's talk about another piece of the puzzle that people often overlook: how you fuel your muscles. That's right, your strength isn't just built during exercise, it's also built in your kitchen. As we get older, our bodies don't process protein as efficiently as they used to. That means even if you're eating the same foods you always have, your muscles might not be getting the building blocks they need. Protein is essential, not just for big muscles like bodybuilders have, but for everyday strength. Lifting a bag of groceries, getting up from bed, even breathing requires muscle. So what can you do? You don't need to start drinking protein shakes or eating like a weightlifter. But it is helpful to make sure you're getting good quality protein throughout the day. That could be a couple of scrambled eggs in the morning, a bit of chicken or tofu at lunch, or even a handful of nuts as a snack. If you're more of a tea and toast kind of person in the morning, consider adding a spoonful of Greek yogurt or a boiled egg to your plate. Small changes can make a big difference. And don't forget about hydration. Muscles need water, just like a car needs oil. When we're dehydrated, even a little bit, we feel tired, stiff, and less coordinated. It's easy to forget to drink water when you're not sweating or feeling thirsty, but keeping a glass nearby and sipping throughout the day can help your joints and muscles feel more limber. Try adding a slice of lemon or a few mint leaves to make it a bit more inviting. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools you have for staying strong, and that's your routine. The truth is, it doesn't matter how good the exercise is or how healthy the meal is if it's not something you'll actually do consistently. That's why I encourage you to pair your strength-building habits with things you already do every day. For example, while the kettle boils in the morning, do a few heel raises. Just lift your heels off the ground while standing at the counter. Waiting for the microwave? Do a couple of slow squats holding onto the kitchen sink. Watching your favorite show in the afternoon. During the commercials, stand up and march in place, or practice those chair sit-to-stands we talked about earlier. By attaching small muscle-building moves to your daily activities, you make it part of your life, not just another thing on your to-do list. And that's the secret. You don't need 45 minutes of structured exercise every day. What you do need is consistency. A few minutes here, a few movements there, that's how real change happens. Now, I know life gets in the way. Some days you wake up feeling tired. Some days your joints are sore. Some days, frankly, you just don't feel like doing much at all. And that's okay. It's important to listen to your body. But here's something to keep in mind. Even on those off days, just doing something, even 1 or 2 minutes of gentle movement keeps your momentum going. It keeps the habit alive. It reminds your brain and body, I'm still in this. And don't underestimate the power of posture. Yes, something as simple as how you sit and stand can impact your strength. Over time, poor posture can weaken your back and core muscles, which are essential for balance and stability. So throughout the day, take a moment to reset. Pull your shoulders back gently, lift your chest, and imagine a string lifting the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Not only will you feel taller and more confident, it also activates those deep postural muscles that support your spine and keep you standing strong. Another tool I want to share with you is one of my favorites because it's free, easy, and surprisingly effective: breathing. Yes, breathing. Most people don't realize that your breath affects your strength and your balance. Try this. The next time you're doing a movement like standing up from a chair or lifting something light, exhale as you do the effort. That breath out helps engage your core muscles and gives you more stability. You can even practice a simple breathing exercise to connect your mind and body. Sit or stand comfortably. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 2, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 4. Do that a few times and you'll feel more grounded, more centered, And believe it or not, you're strengthening your diaphragm and core just by breathing with intention. Let's also touch on one more important topic, confidence. Because sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't our muscles, it's our mindset. You might find yourself thinking, I'm too old to get strong, or I'll never be as fit as I once was. But guess what? Strength doesn't care about age. It only cares about effort. Whether you're 71 or 91, your muscles can still grow stronger. Your body can still adapt. I've seen people in their late 80s go from needing a walker to walking unaided, just by doing a little bit of strength work each day. I've seen people who couldn't lift their arms above their heads regain full mobility. And I've seen the joy on their faces when they realize they're capable of more than they believed. That kind of transformation starts with a choice. A choice to try. A choice to say, today I'll do something for my body. Not because you want to look a certain way, but because you want to live a certain way. Independently. Confidently. On your own terms. So if you're still with me, and I hope you are, take a moment and think, what's one thing you can start doing today to build strength? Maybe it's a few chair squats. Maybe it's choosing eggs over toast. Maybe it's just standing taller right now as you listen to this. That's all it takes. One small step. Let's keep going because we're just getting started. There's more to explore and more you can do to protect your strength, your balance, and your independence, right in your own home. So now that you've got the foundation, intentional movement, smart fueling, and consistency in your routine, let's talk about one more game changer that often gets overlooked: rest and recovery. I know that might sound a little strange. After all, we're talking about building strength, not taking naps, right? But here's the truth. Your muscles don't grow while you're exercising. They grow while you're resting. And after 70, your body needs just a little more time to recover than it used to. That's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. See, when you move your body, especially with strength-building exercises like sit-to-stands or wall push-ups, you're actually creating tiny micro-tears in your muscle fibers. Don't worry, that's totally normal. It's part of the process. But it's during the rest period, especially during sleep, that your body repairs those fibers and makes them even stronger. That's why getting good sleep is not just about energy, it's essential for muscle health too. So if you've been skimping on sleep, or if your nights are restless, that's something worth paying attention to. Try setting a calming nighttime routine. Dim the lights, turn off screens at least an hour before bed, and maybe even do a few minutes of gentle stretching or deep breathing to signal to your body that it's time to wind down. If you're not sleeping well, your muscles won't recover well, and all that hard work during the day won't have a chance to pay off. Now let's talk about the power of community. You might be thinking, I'm doing this on my own, and that's okay. Many people start this journey alone. But if you want to stay strong, not just physically but emotionally, it helps to have a support system, even a small one. That could be a walking buddy, a neighbor who wants to try some simple exercises with you, a family member who checks in on your progress, or even joining a virtual group or online community where others are working on the same goals. There's something incredibly motivating about knowing you're not the only one trying to stay strong. It creates a sense of connection, and that can keep you going on the days when your motivation starts to dip. Plus, when you encourage others, you lift yourself up too. That energy is contagious. But even if you don't have anyone to do this with right now, you've still got this. The truth is, the most important voice in this journey is your own. The one that says, I'm worth the effort. The one that says, it's never too late to feel better, move better, and live better. And just by listening to this today, you've already taken the first, and maybe the hardest step, deciding to try. One thing I often hear is, I just don't want to become a burden to anyone. And if that's something you've thought about, I want to tell you, building strength is one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your independence. When you feel strong, you're more likely to stay active, avoid falls, recover from illness faster, and enjoy life on your terms. And every time you choose to move, to stretch, to fuel your body well, you're making an investment, not just in your health, but in your freedom. And here's a little secret. Getting stronger doesn't always look the way we think it should. Sometimes it looks like standing up a little taller. Sometimes it looks like walking up the stairs without holding the rail. Sometimes it's realizing your legs don't shake quite as much when you get out of bed. That is strength. That is progress. And those small wins, they matter. Every single one is a sign that your body is still responding, still adapting, still growing. no matter how many candles were on your last birthday cake. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Your age is not your limit. Your attitude is your superpower. Whether you start with 5 minutes a day or 15, whether you use a chair or a wall or just your breath, you're doing something that matters. Not just for your body, but for your confidence, your independence, and your joy. If this video helped you feel more motivated, or if you've started some of these movements already, I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments, what small change are you making today to stay strong? Maybe you're walking a little more. Maybe you're finally doing those heel raises at the kitchen sink. Whatever it is, celebrate it. You deserve to be proud. And if you found this helpful, give this video a like so others can discover it too. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more practical, uplifting tips to keep living your best life after 60, 70, or beyond. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're right on time, and your strength is waiting for you. Here's to living strong, standing tall, and feeling proud of every step you take. Until next time, take care, and keep moving forward.